Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the 5-Minute Major, where we debate the hottest topics in sports. The Blue Bombers season is over. They lost to the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and they're out. They finished 7-11, and Mike Kelly is hearing it from all sides about whether or not he should keep his job with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Paul Friesen and Jim Bender, football writers from The Sun, are ready to talk about it. Guys, should Mike Kelly be back next year?
Boy, you're cutting right to the chase there. Probably.
Why?
I'm not sure if he should be. He's shown some things. He's improved the secondary. He's improved the kicking game. He's improved special teams in general. Defense is pretty good. But boy, that offense that he was in charge of just didn't get better from week 1 to 18. Force him to hire a coordinator with experience in the CFL and maybe give him a bit more time, maybe. That's what I'm leaning towards.
Overall, Jimmy, this was a worse team than last year, and Doug Barry got fired for that.
It was a much worse team, and that's all tied to the quarterback. Mike Kelly thought he could gamble with Stephen LaForce and groom him into his bona fide starter in this league, and that didn't work, and he had no backup plan. So they had to send an SOS to Michael Bishop, and that, to me, is the worst part of what Mike Kelly did. I know he gambled, and I know it failed, but he should have had some kind of backup plan, which he never seemed to have. And that's the main reason why this team finished 7-11.
That's right, and he admitted that mistake now that the season is over. Mm-hmm. But I recall sitting at this very seat back in March when Kevin Glenn was being released and saying, you can't go into the season with these unproven guys and be sure of it working. You have to have a backup plan. And I pushed very hard for them to bring in Casey Printers. And I was okay with Michael Bishop because I thought at least he's got some experience. At least he got a chance. But he should have been here from the start. The fact that he came in 4 games into the season and took a very long time to really grasp the offense and never really did grasp the offense is a failure on Kelly's part. And I would have to add that Mike Kelly, really, what he did off the field, his behavior, his antics, his angering of the fans really hurts his ability to be the leader of this team. And I think that he probably shouldn't be the leader anymore because of that.
That stuff doesn't matter if you win.
Right, but he didn't.
So that stuff matters a little more.
Well, I thought it mattered before the season even started.
Yeah.
I remember saying, for what he's done before the season started, for what he's done to anger fans by releasing players, popular players, those are hard decisions, and you can always second-guess them, but they seemed strange at the time.
Yeah.
And for what he had done before he even coached a game, I was saying, if this guy doesn't win, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Sure. Puts himself out there on a limb when you act like that. When they cut Glenn, I thought, I wasn't all against it because Glenn wasn't the answer here the year before. I assumed he knew what he was doing with LaForce. He obviously didn't really know what he was doing, but I'm not sure it's LaForce. I think it might be his whole offensive package, his whole offensive philosophy. So that's why I say force him to bring in an experienced coordinator and change that offense completely.
Yeah, everything that happened in the offseason and everything else overshadowed whether or not Mike Kelly is actually a good enough coach to be a head coach in this league. I know his rookie campaign, and all rookies make a lot of mistakes. But at the end of the year, even Doug Barry's first year, he made a lot of mistakes, but there was a lot of promise shown at the end of that year. And, they got some talented players, and personnel guy could bring in new players, but it's what the coach does with those players that tells whether he's a good enough coach or not.
Exactly.
Does he need more time to prove he's a good enough coach? Does he have enough time? I don't know if the Bombers can afford to replace him. In the end, the money would cost to go find a new guy, if there's even a new guy they think is capable of doing it there. And plus, everyone knows Mike Kelly and Lyle Bauer are buddies.
Yeah. I don't see a lot of point in keeping him. I really don't. I think that he's going to be a hindrance towards season ticket sales next season. He can say it all he wants, that you shouldn't judge it by me. You should be a fan of the Blue Bombers and don't worry about me. That may be true, but if he's angered enough people that they just are put off by him, they're not going to buy tickets.
But how many practices have you been to?
Oh, I agree. I've been to maybe 2 this season, so my opinion doesn't count.
Doesn't count, Ted. Doesn't count.
Well, you guys go to practice all the time, so you can say it for me.
Well, I'm not going to say it yet. I want to see what his plan is for next season, quarterback-wise and coach-wise.
And it's going to be a short leash next season, you would have to think.
You would think.
All right, well, we're going to wrap this up under 5 minutes just to please our producer, Rich
We're 5
Pope.
now.
Exactly 5. Thanks very much for joining us on the 5 Minute Major. We'll probably have lots more to talk about the Blue Bombers over the off season, but for now, we'll talk to you again next week.